I once knew a nigga whose real name was William. His primary concern was making $1 million, being the illest hustler that the world ever seen. He used to fuck movie stars and sniff coke in his dreams. A corrupted young mind at the age of 13. Nigga never had a father and his mom was a fiend. She put the pipe down, but for every year she was sober. Her son's heart simultaneously grew colder. He started hanging out, selling bags in the projects, checking the young chicks looking for hit and run prospects. He was fascinated by material objects, but he understood money never brought respect. He built a reputation cause he could hustle and steal, but got locked once and didn't hesitate to squeal. So criminals he chilled with didn't think he was real. You see, me and niggas like this have never been equal. I don't project my insecurities on other people. He feeded for props like addicts with pipes and needles, and so he felt he had to prove to everyone he was evil. A feeble-minded young man with infinite potential, the product of a ghetto-bred capitalistic mental. Coincidentally, dropped out of school to sell weed, dancing with the devil, smoked until his eyes would bleed. But he was sick of selling trees and gave in to his greed.
He's showing signs of corruption. It went from something to nothing. Put his hands on his mother and now he's fucking his cousin. Now she's having his baby. The bitch is driving him crazy. The motherfucker was violent cause he was fresh out the Navy. She dealt with constant abuse, never revealing the truth. She kept the feelings concealed until they rose to the roof. Her war star heart dropped and she was tied to the bed. Just as she thought it was over, he put a gun to her head.
But listen,
all my life I dream these things. Seems surreal that I see these things until I D.I.E. All you niggas just P.I.E. Nah, nigga can't sleep on me. But listen, all my life I dream these things. Seems surreal that I see these things until I D.I.E. All you niggas just P.I.E. Nah, nigga can't sleep on me. Sleep with a knife by your bed, so convinced she got a gun to her head. Only relief is when she's taking the meds, or taking Henny instead. Taking liquor to her belly in bed, until her belly is red. Now she's finding out the baby is dead. She don't wanna live this life no more, but she's stuck because she got no cure, and she want more.
They drove around the project slow while it was raining, smoking blunts, drinking and joking for entertainment, until they saw a woman on the street walking alone, 3 in the morning, coming back from work on the way home. And so they quietly got out the car and followed her, walking through the projects. The darkness swallowed her. They wrapped her shirt around their head and knocked her onto the floor. This is it, kid, now you got your chance to be raw. So Billy yoked her up and grabbed the chick by the hair and dragged her into a lobby that had nobody there. She struggled hard, but they forced her to go up the stairs. They got to the roof and then held her down on the ground, screaming, "Shut the fuck up and stop moving around." The shirt covered her face, but she screamed and clawed. So Billy stomped on the bench till he broke in her jaw. Them dirty bastards knew exactly what they were doing. They kicked her until they cracked her ribs and she stopped moving, blood leaking through the cloth. She cried silently, and then they all proceeded to rape her violently. Billy was made to go first, but each of them took a turn, ripping her up and choking her until her throat burned. Her broken jaw mumbled for God, but they weren't concerned. When they were done and she was lying bloody, broken and bruised, one of them niggas pulled out a brand new 22. They told him that she was a witness for what she'd gone through, and if he killed her, he was guaranteed a spot in the crew. He thought about it for a minute. She was practically dead, and so he leaned over and put the gun right to her head.
About a quarter to noon, he started roaming the street. Left the tie back home, her mouth was covered with sheets. Started making observations and starting up conversations. Pill pop, left himself with no options, cause his mind is made and he's just counting the days. Rather than smoking, the nigga simply going insane. Tying himself to a bridge as it began to occur. Fucker couldn't breathe, the sight it even went to a blur. Guess it's the drugs that made the nigga absurd. Thinking about the past and all the things that he learned, but then it came to a turn. Started thinking evil thoughts and it burned. Ran for years and now the thought is returned.